This is ex Walkill Bethelite here, and I was just thinking that a wise man will change. You have to evolve and grow as you learn new things. If I knew everything I know now about Bethel and the incorrect teachings like 607 BCE and things like that, and yet I didn't change, I would have to be a fool to still be sitting in the kingdom hall like nothing was wrong. I would be setting myself up for destruction. So let's just use reason and thinking ability here. If you are somewhere that does not allow you to do research about them from outside sources, then you don't want to be there. It's just that simple. And Jehovah's Witnesses are creatures of habit just like anyone else. They go door to door and think, well, we have the truth just because we go door to door. Like Matthew 24:14 says, right? Wrong. You're just in the habit of going door to door. Matter of fact, let's read Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. I'm sure it's a well-known scripture, a scripture that most witnesses have probably got memorized. Matthew 24:14. And this good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the inhabited earth for a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Okay, as I'm looking at that scripture, I'm not seeing anything about, and this good news of the kingdom has to be preached from door to door. It says this good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the inhabited earth. And Catholics are preaching every Sunday all over the entire inhabited earth. Baptists are preaching all over the entire inhabited earth. Some people are preaching even on television now, all over the entire inhabited earth. Everywhere we know that there are people on the planet, there are churches that preach. Preaching can be done from church. Preaching can be done over the radio. Preaching can be done all over. But preaching is being done, just like the scripture is saying, by pretty much everyone. And some people might say, well, what about Acts chapter 20? Let's look at that. Let's go to Acts chapter 20 and verse 20. And let's see what that says here. Acts chapter 20 and verse 20. While I did not hold back from telling you any of these things that were profitable, nor from teaching you publicly and from house to house. Well, there you have it. Acts 20:20. We should be going door to door. Now, I'm not saying there's necessarily anything wrong with going door to door, but we don't have to. That's not a sign that this is the truth. Let's back up to verse 17. Acts chapter 20, and let's get a little context. Verse 17 says, however, from Miletus he sent word to Ephesus and called for the elders of the congregation. When they came to him, he said to them, you well know how I conducted myself among you from the first day I stepped into the province of Asia, slaving for the Lord with all humility and with tears and trials that befell me by the plots of the Jews, while I did not hold back from telling you any of the things that were profitable, nor from teaching you publicly and from house to house. It's talking about people who are already members of the congregation, going house to house, talking to them, not going just random people's homes, talking to whoever answers the door when you knock on it. So really, it's not even a question anymore as to whether or not the Jehovah's Witnesses have the only one truth. You can't even really debate that anymore unless they're debating it with someone who really doesn't know anything. And that's many times what happens when you just go to random people's doors. So, as you learn about these things, and it's shocking. It shocked me when I learned about them. When you learn about these things, the question comes up, well, where do you go from here? And this is something that we are definitely going to address in the future. But for now, this is ex-Wallkill Bethelite signing out.